Let's invest in our kids' futures. I want to look at my son in the eye and say we did everything.
I call Maggie Berry.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I rise as a member of the Finance and Expenditure Committee to talk about this Climate Change Response Amendment Bill in its second reading. I must say I find it a bit rich to hear the Greens talking about chicanery when their idea about printing money must be the ultimate piece of political trickery to achieve political gain, a piece of nonsense, much like their notions around the submitters that came before us. As our esteemed Chair, Todd McClay of the F&E Select Committee outlined earlier, we did receive 803 submissions, we heard 19 hours of evidence, and there were 73 submitters. The Greens have dismissed those who do not agree with their dogma. I would not be so arrogant, and I in fact reject what they have said, because we as a party and we as a select committee have indeed listened to the submitters and taken note of them. Let's have a little look at some of them. Business New Zealand. Now, they represent a mere 76,000 employers. They thought the bill was excellent and its amendments. They said it reflects New Zealand's contribution to global emissions and our specific emissions problem. It is well balanced between the needs of taxpayers, businesses and consumers. They also say it avoids a knee-jerk, short-term fix based on current low carbon prices, something that Labour and the Greens seem very preoccupied with. Export New Zealand also made excellent points, once again ignored by the opposition because it didn't suit their particular dogmas. Export New Zealand said they were very concerned about maintaining the international competitiveness of our exporters and were very opposed to any strengthening of the emissions trading scheme. They commended the bill because of the increased stringency in the scheme, which would, if it did go ahead, would increase costs and undermine our international competitiveness at a time when exporters are struggling with a high and volatile dollar. These were all excellent points, and unlike the arrogance of the opposition, we listened to them carefully. In this call, I will give the last word to the sponsor of this bill, the Minister for Climate Change, the Honourable Tim Grosser. At the first amendment, when it went through its first reading, he said that the objectives of this bill are to ensure that the ETS is flexible enough to cater for a range of international outcomes between 2013 and 2020, to improve the operation and administration of the ETS, and to change the current treatment of the synthetic greenhouse gases sector in the ETS. I agree with the Minister and I support this bill and commend it to the House.
Members, this debate has concluded. The question is that the amendments recommended by the Finance and Expenditure Committee by majority be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. Aye. The ayes have it. Party votes called for. Ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National, 59 votes in favour. New Zealand Labour,
33 votes opposed.
Green Party,
14 votes opposed.
New Zealand First,
8 votes opposed.
Māori Party,
3 votes opposed.
Mana,
1 vote opposed.
ACT New Zealand,
1 vote in favour.
United Future,
1 vote in favour.
Any other votes?
Members, the ayes are 61, the noes are 59. The amendments are agreed to. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. Aye. The ayes have it. Party votes called for. Ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National,
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour,
33 votes opposed.
Green Party,
14 votes opposed.
New Zealand First,
8 votes opposed.
Māori Party,
3 votes opposed.
Mana,
1 vote opposed.
ACT New Zealand,
1 vote in favour.
United Future,
1 vote in favour.
Any other votes?
Members, the ayes are 61, the noes are 59. The motion is agreed to.
Climate Change Response, Emissions Trading and Other Matters Amendment Bill, second reading.
This bill is set down for committee stage next sitting day. Call on Government Order of the Day number 2.
Taxation, Annual Rates, Returns Filing and Remedial Matters Bill, third reading.
The Honourable Phil Heatley.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Taxation, Annual Rates